Now we can get the conference started. Once again, I welcome you all to the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. As you all know, today's conference is a special edition with a special guest who, for the next 2 hours, will engage Nigerians across the globe on a special theme chosen for the day, which is Snacks for Thought. A breakfast initiative PBAT feeds a CSR-driven initiative. A sunset of the Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program. It's a lengthy one, and I believe that it's going to be an enjoyable afternoon. My co-hosts for today are Honorable Jacob Ogushe, Haji Areki Abelo Abakar, Honorable Udeme Ukwe, Ambassador Kairat Animashaun Ajiboye, Honorable Sheung Bayu, Alhaja Aulat Sule, and Barrister Tosin Olayinka. They will be assisting me in moderating today's conference to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted deliberation. This conference is streaming live across social media and especially on Ben TV UK, courtesy of the CEO of the first Nigerian African digital TV channel, headed by its CEO, Alistair Shoyode, and the Diaspora TVs in Switzerland, led by Honorable Mark Bamidele. Many thanks, all SARS, for your support and assistance always. Just scanning through the conference hall now, I can see new faces, as well as regular participants from across the globe. Thank you all for always joining the conference without fail, week in, week out. We appreciate your participation, and we don't take it for granted, not in the least. And thank you all for being part of this program. We're expecting more VVIPs to join us to both support our co-hosts, to support our special guest, and to support the program. Towards the end of the program, the conference, I will be acknowledging their presence. But in the meantime, on behalf of the team behind the Renewed Hope Global, I welcome you all to this session. On today's conference, we have in our midst a woman of substance who, over the years, has blazed the trail in ensuring that our children who are in schools are well fed. That is why we are titling today's conference Snacks for Thought, a breakfast initiative, and I have on the hot seat today, Princess Dr. Aderemi F. Adebowale. She's the DG National Program Manager of the Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that our special guest of honor for today has joined the conference. So, to set the ball rolling for this virtual conference, please permit me to read out the profile of our special guest, Princess Dr. Aderemi F. Adebowale. Dr. Princess Aderemi Folashade Adebowale is a Nigerian public health scholar, systems architect, author, development strategist, and public sector leader whose work focuses on the intersection of human capital development, early childhood systems, governance architecture, geospatial intelligence. That was kind of tongue twisting, if it's for me. Geospatial intelligence and national transformation. She is widely recognized for developing a comprehensive body of original developmental doctrines and operational frameworks designed to position human capital as the foundational infrastructure of national building. Her work integrates early childhood development, nutrition systems, education, geospatial intelligence, governance reform, predictive human capital modeling, and coordinated public sector execution architecture. Dr. Adebowale is the creator of several original frameworks and doctrines, including MG theory, that is Maslow geographic theory. I know that because I used to do marketing. Yeah, I know that. MG 2000, MG 2050, MICHD 2050, Deterministic Theory, MG GHCI, MG 2000 Geospatial Human Capital Index, and the Human Capital Operating System, HCOS. These frameworks collectively establish a doctrine-driven model for predictive governance, developmental planning, and national human capital transformation. Dr. Princess Aderemi F. Adebowale currently serves as the DG National Program Manager of the Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program. In this role, she leads strategic thinking around school feeding reform, child nutrition systems, program accountability, monitoring and evaluation, digital governance, architecture, geospatial targeting, and integrated human capital development. Her work positions school feeding not merely as a social intervention, but as a national human capital stabilization system capable of strengthening educational readiness, productivity, and national developmental continuity. Dr. Adebowale previously served as a sole administrator of Iru Victoria Island Local Council Development Area in Lagos State between 2015 and 2017, where she gained direct governance and administrative experience in public administration, community engagement, and developmental coordination. She also served as special advisor on civic engagement to the governor of Lagos State between 2019 and 2023, coordinating civil participation initiatives and strengthening relationships between governance structures and grassroots community. Dr. Adebowale possesses over 3 decades of healthcare and executive management experience in the United States. Her international healthcare experience significantly informs her integrated understanding of healthcare systems, care delivery, population vulnerability, and developmental policy. Dr. Adebowale is the author of the multi-volume doctrinal work titled Omo Eniyan, The Fatherhood of a Nation. The work explores human capital development, governance, ethics, early childhood systems, elite formation, national development, and the moral architecture of nationhood. She has maintained significant public engagement through Ask Princess, a 13-period talk show aired on Lagos Television LTV8, and through her contributions as a columnist for the Nation newspaper. Her broader work continues to influence conversations around governance, development, child welfare, ethics, systems reform, and national transformation to reposition Nigeria and Africa towards predictive governance, coordinated human capital systems, child-centered development, structured developmental planning, and long-term national stability. A doctrine establishes that nations are not built accidentally, but through systems, values, developmental continuity, and sustained investment in human beings. Now, her signature doctrinal statement reads thus: human capital is not a social sector. It is the operative infrastructure of civilization. And her closing quote, I cannot leave this out. Her closing quote says, "The more developed your knowledge base is, the smarter you are. You cannot be smarter than your knowledge." And I cannot agree more. Dr. Princess Aderemi F. Adebowale. Today, she will be speaking on Snacks for Thought, the breakfast initiative. PBAT feeds a CSR-driven initiative, a subset of the Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Princess Aderemi F. Adebowale to the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference.
Well, good day, Ambassador Joseph Kolawole Adebola, Esquire, Chairman, Chief Host, Renewed Hope Global VTHC, And thanks for the wow introduction, reading on my CV. I truly appreciate that. I'm not going to bore us, so I'm just going to go in just to do a little bit of introduction. Then I will go into explaining what Snacks for Thought means to the children of Nigeria and to the future of our country. So today's discussion is going to focus on quiet but powerful nation transformation happening through the Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program. What appears on the surface to be a feeding intervention is, in reality, a major human capital investment strategy designed to strengthen education, child development, local economics, and long-term national stability. The discussion today is going to highlight the repositioning of the program towards sustainability, impact, and national transformation. There's a saying in Africa, which reminds us that children who are neglected by society often grows into vulnerable adults disconnected, from the system and opportunities. Of course, the children of every nation is directly connected to how it protects its children, how it feeds its children, how it educates its children, and how it develops its children. Now, it's not just about the children. It's an holistic approach. When you talk about children, there is a mother, there is a father, there is the government. And if we all don't work together as a body to make sure we come to look at how the future of any country, else Nigeria, is going to translate from, so I'm going to talk a bit about my profile, which is the talk about Aderemi F, the fatherhood of a nation, and it all embodies into my work. What the fatherhood of a nation is talking about is looking at humanity creation from 0 to 2000 days. If we don't make concerted effort to make sure the nutritional value, environmental, parental, socio-economic of any child, of any pregnancy from conception to birth, if we don't make concerted effort, then part of it is going to now look at the child now that is birthed now, that we are not putting much effort into. It's going to become a 10-year-old, 20-year-old, 30-year-old. These are the people, these are the children that will become our senators, our leaders, our presidents, our engineers tomorrow. So using the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, as Mr. President has duly appointed me to, to spearhead this program under Ministry of Humanitarian, under the agency called National Social Investment Agency, NCPA. Yes, in ECOWAS, up to 2023-2024, ECOWAS was feeding about 22.4 children in ECOWAS. Nigeria alone was feeding close to 10 million of those children. That means Nigeria is feeding about 44% or more of the children in ECOWAS. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were still telling me that the global world is waiting for Nigeria to kickstart its school feeding, to kickstart everything, because we are like a mirror to the global world when it comes to school feeding. So we're in preparation of that. I'm going to touch a bit before I go to Snacks for Thought, because I need to talk about it, because most people that knows about the homegrown school feeding, they know about the midday lunch. And what we have done with that now, we have done what you call the enhanced restructuring of the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, wherein no woman goes to market. Our smallholder farmers are going to fully be engaged and empowered. All the items that will be sourced from National Homegrown School Feeding Program is going to come from your smallholder farmer. Any country that empowers, that invests in their smallholder farmer, means food prices will be very low, much lower. Every household can have something on their table. So we are investing in our smallholder farmer through the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. Imagine, every day we are feeding 10 million children. That means that smallholder farmer is empowered every day. To calculate that number, sir, it means a lot of households are being empowered. It also means that even that smallholder farmers that is in Kano, that is in Benue, that is in Enugu, in Akwa Ibom, in Anambra, in Adamawa, that smallholder farmer person can also, because they are part of the minute people that are dead, so they are not very rich. I went to Kano when I was doing Snacks for Thought to go and look at the smallholder farmers in the community, in the bushes, and you see a farmer planting in front of his house something that can feed his children and then maybe 10 other people that they can sell out. And those are the kind of smallholder farmers that we are looking to empower to come into this program so that we can be the off-takers from them. And also they can help to feed their own children another meal from being one of us, like our farmers. Also, the women. I think one of the fallout of the previous administration was that most of the cooks were not cooking, they were just taking the money. Well, what we have put together now is that we are going to empower our supply chain. Our supply chain, we get their products, it's going to be directly from the smallholder farmers or processed, that and they will package it for us. The women, the cooks, where they will get a packet of food, maybe weekly or monthly, from the aggregators in each local government. We have calculated the amount of rice, the amount of beans, the amount of seasoning that each cook is going to use to cook for the children. Let's say they are cooking for 60 to 100 children. We already package what they are going to use, and it will be supplied directly to their wards, to the schools. There's going to be M&E to make sure that the food is delivered and the items the cooks take it home. And also what we are doing now, we have also partnered with NIMSI. All our children, all our women, all our youth, all our suppliers, our farmers, you must have your NIN, because that is how we are going to trace everyone. So anybody that is going to be part of our supply chain, after you have fill our application, do our screening, immediately they will generate a QR code for you. So I know where my rice is coming from, where my chicken is coming from, where my fruits are coming from. Everybody will have a QR code. But one of the requirements, you must have NIN. For the children, they don't necessarily have to have NIN. But once we start feeding in that school, the children and the parents, they must get their NIN. So that is what we have done, because I know people will be wondering, okay, if you are talking about snacks for thought, what happened to the proper homegrown school feeding program? And we're in the process. Mr. President is in the process of making sure that truly, the children in Nigeria, at least for now, from primary 1 to 3, get that homegrown school feeding program into their, into their mouth on a daily basis. And we have created a dashboard that, as the children are being fed through biometrics, through scanning of a hand wrist, we are going to make sure that child is scanned, and on a dashboard live you can see a child that is fed in Akwa Ibom, in Borno. If you go on our dashboard, it's going to be stored like in the cloud. Every child that is fed in Nigeria, Mr. President, can go. You as as a citizen can go. It's a published dashboard. The Minister for Humanitarian Education, Agric, all of them can see. And truly we can account that these children are being fed in Nigeria. Now, if you are talking about the midday lunch, most of these children, they are from poor and vulnerable households. They don't eat breakfast before they come to school. How can you learn truly if you don't eat breakfast and we are serving you a midday lunch? The return on investment, something is wrong with it. I did these findings in Lagos State when we did these snacks for thought in Lagos State, in Lagos Island, and we fed about 33,000 children, about 12,000 schools in Lagos Island. And what we found out that most of these children, they don't eat breakfast. About 90% of them don't eat breakfast. The ones that eat breakfast, they actually eat rice. Rice is very high in carbohydrates. It does not do anything for their brain development, their cognitive development. It does not enhance it. So that was when now we said, okay, this snacks for thought is going to be a nutritious snacks and juice in the morning before the start of class. Now, government cannot do it alone, so I call it a CSR-driven initiative. Most of our companies, private sectors, they're supposed to do what you call corporate social responsibility, to do stuff like that. So what we are saying is that the private sector in each of our communities, in each of our state, to adopt a school for snacks for thought. Also, a snack for thought is a snack again and juice in the morning. We put it on that child's table in the morning before the start of class. Let them eat and drink it. We are looking for something that has high omega-3 fatty acid, has iodine, wheat, something that will develop their brain continuously. Because let me go back to my 0 to 2,000 days. As from conception to at least age 5, if not age 8 now, the child's brain continues to develop. So whatever it is that we are going to give those children must be something that continue to enhance their cognitive, not just giving them chin-chin and pop-off in the morning. No, that will not stand. So we are working on a very nutritious snacks and juice in the morning for the snacks for thought. Again, the private sector are encouraged through their CSR to partner with this. The federal government on our part, we are going to do the monitoring and evaluation of this program. Also, we have a lot of items. We have tables and chairs, we have school bags, we have books, we have pencils, we have so many things. We have, we have water bottles in all our stores in Nigeria, which we are going to now use from the federal government to take to those schools that are participating in the Snacks for Thought initiative. On the state government level is again to support us with our media, our logistics, still monitoring and evaluation. So it's a 3-tier program where the federal government has their role, the state government has their role, and the private sector has their role. Remember now, that's the only one we are doing the 3-tier. Unlike the homegrown school feeding, which is the midday lunch, federal government is doing that right now in partnership with the state government. But we are now saying that while we are waiting to kickstart the midday lunch, let's start the Snacks for Thought. It's a breakfast initiative, and we did it successfully in Kano. When we did Kano was phenomenal. The private sector, they sponsored this program fully. We have Aderemi F in Kano right now with her father and some private sector. They have actually adopted the school for Snacks for Thought. And they are giving those children the snacks and the juice in the morning now, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Now, we did it in FCT. We are coming fully to Lagos now. Lagos is getting ready for Snacks for Thought. And by God's grace, Lagos is going to be feeding the 57 local governments in Lagos State. The conference 57 are joining us now to truly launch Snacks for Thought in Nigeria. I will call it PBAT fit, because number one, it's PBAT fit. Because everybody that are going to be participating in this program, they are in this administration, they are part of this, our APC party, they are part of our people, but you don't have to even now be in APC. As long as you believe in this administration, we are going to go to Osun, we are going to go to Oyo, we are going to even go to the states that are not part of APC. So children now, they don't know party. When I told them in Kano, I'm like, children don't know party. They just know that they need to be fed. So the National Homegrown School Feeding Program is not partisan. We are going to feed all the children of Nigeria, be it Snacks for Thought, be it the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. Now, so people are going to be saying to themselves, okay, this Snacks for Thought now, how do we participate? Thank you. So there's a dashboard. And in that dashboard, it will show you, let's say now, you want to sponsor Odomala Primary School in Ekpe. That's my father's hometown, so I know it very well. Odomala Primary School in Ekpe, and you want to be feeding them Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, and there are about 200 children in that school. And let's say, just for argument's sake, the snacks, everything is about 1,000 naira per child. You go on our platform. The school is already, all the schools in Nigeria have already been uploaded on our dashboard. You pick the school of your choice. You can be in London, you can be in Germany, you can be in Italy, and you go on that dashboard. You click the school that you want. You click the kind of snacks, because we would have verified them at the back end. The kind of snacks and juice that you want to give to those schools. You pay. It goes directly to the supplier. It doesn't come to it doesn't come to us. It goes directly to the supplier. The supplier will, from that order, now take it to the school through their logistics. As soon as we get that order, there are verifiers on ground in each of the schools that will verify for you that the items was delivered. Let's say the snack is going to be on the 12th, on the 19th, and on the 26th, every 7 days, like every Wednesday or something like that. On the 11th, they would have delivered the item to the school. The school administrators and the PTA, whoever, they will verify that they have gotten the item. On the day that they are serving those children, they will take pictures and record and upload. Everything is automated. They will upload, and you will see the picture of those children being fed the snacks that you have provided for them. So what does this do? I'm tying school feeding, Snacks for Thought, homegrown to security. A child that you feed today, a child that you provide for today to eat, to come to school, to increase attendance, enrollment, and retention and completion, might be the child that will not be a security threat to you tomorrow. So I'm also tying this school feeding to security. So that means all of us as a Nigerian, we have a role to play to make sure we support this program, especially through the Snacks for Thought initiative. Now, we have this lady called Pelumi. I don't know if everybody knows her. She's one that drove from London to Nigeria, to Lagos. So now she's going to be driving from Lagos to all over Nigeria with us, and she's coming on to be our brand ambassador. So there is a cartoon book that she has developed called Lumi. Anytime we go to those schools now that we're doing Snacks for Thought, we're going to be reading Lumi. What is Lumi telling us? To tell us to persevere, that life is not easy, that whatever order you go through in life, you must persevere to make sure you succeed, to make sure you complete your education, because education is the key to your freedom. Education is the key to you becoming somebody in life. Education is the key for you not being neglected in the society. Education is the key for opening all the doors for you globally. And education is the key that you will not be a security threat to either one of us. So I'm now using this medium now, like I said. So on the back end, the supplier now will be part of our women. So I'm thinking, so let's look at the north now. So let me take Kaduna Kano, for example. We have some women that they do fura, they do zobo. So we are going to be engaging those women as part of our suppliers at the back end. We are going to be making sure the smallholder farmers, all our suppliers, that they patronize our smallholder farmers. That the food, the item that will be produced is going to be coming from those smallholder farmers. That our women are also employed. That our youth are going to be part of that verification, the M&E. So what does this tell us? It's now also looking at value from grassroots up, value from the world up. It's also an empowerment program. It's also a program that takes people out of poverty. We have some development partner now, TechnoServe, assigned with us, and they are going to be helping us, to support some of these things that we are doing. There is a school we are doing now in Abuja. It's for out of school children, about 150 of them. They are not going to school, and we are building a school for them now, to make sure in the community they live, they go to that school. We are going to also be practicing Snacks for Thought and the Made the Lunch. And we are going to be looking for a lot of people to support us on this. But all in all, the Snacks for Thought initiative, a CSR-driven PBAT phase, is now going from state to state, from local government to local government, again, encouraging our private sectors to come and join us on this drive, to come and secure the future of Nigeria, to be part of looking at Nigeria in the next, again, 10, 20, 30 years. Another thing that we have also incorporated into this is a leadership program. Every school that is being adopted on Snacks for Thought, we are going to bring in a leadership institution that have also partnered with us. They are part of the United Nations. We are going to be teaching them leadership role. We are going to be starting from at least from primary 3 for like a decade long, where we will bring those children in from primary 3 until they finish their secondary school. What does this also tell us? It tells us that those children, for lack of better word, I'm going to call it classical conditioning, would have reprogrammed the way they think, would have reprogrammed the way they see themselves and the way they see their fellow human being, would have reprogrammed them to be a Nigerian that we'll be proud of. We would have reprogrammed them to be one that globally they can compete globally. Most of these children that are part of this homegrown school feeding program, they are from a very poor background. They are from single mothers. They are from single fathers, because I know they are single fathers. They are from very, very, very poor household. So like in the past, the school feeding program has been looked at as a welfare program. Well, I'm here to tell Nigerians that it is not a welfare program. It's a human capital reforming program that is reforming lives, it's changing life, and it's transforming lives. So it's not the way the school feeding program is being looked at before. That's not the way we are looking at it now. It's no longer a welfare program. It's to change life, to touch life. Part of the things that we're going to also be doing is looking at these children, look at their mental health, look at their cognitive, look at their performance. So we're going to put a lot of indices into the homegrown school feeding program, into Snacks for Thought, to look at the child holistically, not just by just feeding that child. So the feeding is just a means to an end to develop that child, to make sure he or she grow up to be a responsible citizen, a civically responsible citizen that will not continue to exert to exert pressure onto the nation, but to one that will contribute positively and to progress our country. I will stop there for now, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wow. You got me all raptured with your presentation.
Thank
And
you,
I
sir.
must say thank you so very much for that, because one of the things that really hit me was when you said you started the Snacks for Thought in Kano. It's snapped at my heart because I was born in Zaria.
Okay.
I grew up in the north. I spent all my life in the north before I journeyed into the UK.
Okay.
So I'm a Hausa Yoruba man.
All right.
To understand the issues in the north. So that was why when you mentioned it, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
There's no better
After
place for you.
Lagos, we are going to Katsina next. After Lagos, inshallah.
Because for me, you see, the I think a lot of argument has been had about what led to the Boko Haram banditry and everything in the north and why it's very prominent there. For someone like me understands why that is. And that is why as soon as you mention that, and I'm like, who? People say this woman na Sele or na Kerubu. We don't see vision.
I'm all of the above.
We don't see vision. Say, for this program to have the kind of effect that we want, we have to start it from somewhere where the problem seems to be prominent. And that's exactly what you've done. And that really, really, really gets to me seriously as soon as you mentioned that. The fact that you're going to, I think you say you're going to Katsina now. Trust
Yes.
me, you couldn't have done it any better than you're doing now. So for me, I'll just say kudos to you. And
Thank you, sir.
whatever help that we can, whatever assistance that we can give as Renewed Hope Global, we will. Because for me, and I like the fact that you said prior to you assuming this post, the program was seen as a welfare program.
Yeah.
This is why I talk about putting square pegs in square holes. When you do that, the person you put in there will see beyond the vision that you have.
Yes.
I think we had a young man on this program before when we were talking about thinking inside the box, and the guy said to me, "Why do you have to have a box in the first place?"
Exactly.
It was a young man, and me, as old as I am, I got something from that. So, which means you came in and you said, "No, this is not a work prep program. It has to be a holistic human capital reforming program," which is what is lacking in the country.
Yes.
And I just have to say thank you so very much, madam, for being who you are and for coming onto the program and saying, "Look, we're not going to do things the way it's been done before. Let's change. Let's have a paradigm shift." Because that is what the country needs. We need a paradigm shift in almost every sphere of our lives now for the country to move forward. And I think that is why certain people are having problems with this administration now, because the administration is not ready to do things the way people have been doing it before. And those who have been benefiting from what's been happening, we don't give a toss about that. So long as we are on the trajectory of getting the country where it should be.
Exactly.
That's for me, and that's one of the reasons why someone like me is supporting this administration. Because for me, I've lived long enough to understand that the country cannot continue the way we've been living. Yes, it was kind of conducive for certain people, but the country is not for certain people. The country is for everybody.
Everybody, yes.
And until everybody is moved, either kicking and screaming into the 21st century, we ain't going to go anywhere. And that is why I'm so happy, especially for someone like you now, with everything you just said now, gels with me. And thank you so very much, man. Thank you. And we will be going to question and answer session now. And anybody who has any question to ask, please use the hand emoji at the bottom to raise to let us know that you have a question. But before I do that, madam, I understand it. Now, my question is, has this program now, because you seem to have taken giant strides in the last 2 or 3 years that I've been on the program, which surprised me. Now, I'm not denigrating you for being a woman, because either male or female, what matters is what you have here. And most people will think, oh, now woman now, so what a woman can do even better. And for me, I don't think any man would have done as much as we've done now, with what we've done so far now, with what you've just said now, and with what I've seen on ground. Because I did a bit of a background check on you as well. You don't know that, but I'm just trying to say that now. And I must say that I'm impressed with what I've seen so far. Really, really impressed. That's why I'm going to ask you this question now. I know you started this thing by circulating through all the 6 geopolitical zones, by picking certain states. So now the question now is, have we been able to cover the whole 32 states now? If not, what are the projections to getting this program expanded to every, if not all local government, but at least every state in the country to be represented in the program, because it is a laudable program, and for me, I think everybody and anybody should be able to benefit from it. So that's why I'm asking that question.
All right, sir. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Remember, I said we started in Kano, and this is a brand new program. In fact, it was conceptualized around 2012 under my NGO, the Bozironga Foundation. And so, incidentally, it was when they were saying that in homegrown school feeding, they have bad chicken, they have this, and they have that problem. So, and I developed a meal a day then in Ekpe. Then I also now saw that the meal a day cooking, it has a lot of intrigues, a lot of complications. So I kind of now, I came up with the snacks for thought. Again, nutritious snacks and juice in the morning before the start of class. I just came brand new from the United States then, and I went to Balogun Market.
Okay.
And I went to the markets. I went to look at products, drinks, and juice and snacks. I read their back, the nutritional contents. And what actually got me that day, so I'm going to go back to your question, was most of the market women, and this is the God honest truth, they were so excited. They are going to be giving their children snacks and juice in the morning. Most of them are like, oh, my child will wake up in the morning without me fighting him to wake up. My child will not fight me again if he knows he's coming to get his snacks and his juice in the morning before the start of class. And when we took this particular initiative to Lagos Island, the turnout of mothers, the turnout of people praying for the governor then, for this small initiative, is beyond reason. Same thing in Kano. Kano was phenomenal. I don't know, I'm saying this, I hope my governor is listening, Lagos State governor. I don't know if they can beat Kano. That is a God honest truth. Kano took snacks for thought like this. So since we are piloting it, and I told you we have gone to Kano, we have gone to FCT, we are in Lagos now. Inshallah, Katsina is our next stop. So it depends now, and I'm hoping to go and talk to the governors forum for all of them to adopt these snacks for thought in their various states. Because again, it's not even their money. All they need to bring together is private sector from their states under the CSR initiative for them to adopt a school for them. So I'm hoping that governors forum, somebody in the governors forum is listening to me, and of course my minister, when we get back, he was also talking about it, that we will talk to the governors forum for them to adopt the snacks for thought. So it will give us a faster entry, to go to more states. But on the part of the federal government for homegrown school feeding program, we are touching the 36 states. Once we kickstart the school feeding, it's across board. But the snacks for thought, being that is a brand new initiative, so we are taking it state to state, teaching them, giving them the template and the structure to use, and then handing over to them. So again, we are hoping that before the end of this year, we would have covered the whole of Nigeria. That is my prayer. While Mr. President is planning on kickstarting the full midday lunch, the homegrown school feeding program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much for that elaborate response. I can relate with your program because I live in the UK, and that such school feeding thing operates here as well. So that was why I remember when I first met with you, when we were going to Cotonou, one of the things that clicked in my head was this woman came from America and she had with this big dream. And because we had a bit of a discussion while I was there, and that was what prompted me to say, okay, would you like to come on this program so that we can at least share your experience with Nigerians across the world. And I was so fascinated by a couple of the points that you made, which gelled with me in the sense that, like I said, I'm living in the UK, and I kind of understand where you're coming from with all of, because and the passion you show too, which again showed up here in your presentation now, is that these kids, they are our future. They are our future. And the Yorubas will say, how do I paraphrase that in English? A child that we refuse to nurture today will become a problem to the society tomorrow. I think I've done.
You're closer. You're very close.
Because that is for me. That is where your program is coming from. Yes. And with what's the banditry, because you see, this is one of the things that is feeding this banditry that we have in the country today now. Because we have too many hands that are idle. And you know what they say about idle hands being the devil's workshop. So if we can, at least any child that knows that when they go to school will be able to get at least one stable food, that child will want to wake up in the morning and want to go to school.
Exactly. Definitely. Yes.
So that is why for me, I give you kudos for bringing in these new initiatives. And I can only continue to pray for you that you go higher and higher and higher. Because for me, Nigeria needs this like 20 years ago. So, and you know what they say, that better late than never. Exactly. We are on the trajectory now. I just pray that knowing the kind of president that we have now, I know he will support you 110%. So for that, please don't relent, ma'am. And let's keep. And another thing I saw when you were talking about the supply chain, because me sometimes my brain do some kind of overdrive when I'm in a program like this. So when you started talking, I was thinking, okay, all these things looks fine. How do you then monitor what goes on? So as I was thinking that in my head, you just came up with this QR code thing, and I'm like, Lordy Lord.
Oh yes.
Because sometimes I like to think like a Nigerian, and I like to put myself in the way people think, because they see every opportunity as a way of siphoning money. They don't see the benefit on what people try to do, especially your program now. What they see is, where's the money? What's the color of the money? Forgetting that the money that you Colombia, I think that's the word they use now in the street, you Colombia the money put for your pocket, instead of using it for the benefit of the people. It has a ripple effect. Right? People don't get that. So, but as soon as we started talking about that, I'm like, will I say this woman is coming from somewhere? So please, can you please explain more about this QR? Because I'm sure a lot of people will have missed it. The QR code thing, what does it mean, and let's start from what does it mean?
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. So again, the QR code again is the monitoring, is part of our monitoring system. Remember I told you, like around 2012 or so, when they were saying they have bad chicken, they have bad this, and they couldn't really trace where all those bad foods are coming from. What the QR code is supposed to do is, number one, is to identify our suppliers. Number two is to identify all the food that is going to come on that child's table, or on the cook's table, or on the mother's table that will be cooking for the children, be it the cook or the mother, whatever you are cooking. And I want to know where it comes from. Let me give you an example. Our rice, there's going to be a standard of rice that we will take from you, the supplier. There's going to be a standard of beans that we take of you, the supplier. There's going to be a standard of wugu that we take from you, the standard of oil. So everything will be standardized. Now, if that lady, so the first thing you do, you have to get your NIN. You go on our site, you register. So part of your registration, your company, your name, your company's name, your home address, your state of origin address. So we do all those. One. Number two, the local government, your leaders in your local government, after you finish all our forms, all our questionnaires, your local government leader in that community must attest that they know you. A company that you are running is from one local government in Nigeria. It's
Yeah.
not from the state. There's a local government where you reside, where you are doing that company. Then the local government chairman of that community must attest that they know you. So what does this mean? That we can monitor you, we can follow you. So once we get the you finish filling your form, we get the attestation from the local government chairman and the leader in that community. As long as you put that in, because we're also going to know, it will generate a QR code for you. So let's say Princess Aderemi Adebowale is going to be supplying rice. As soon as I fill it for the Bozoranga Foundation Company, it will generate a QR code. Even Mrs. Ngozi Obioma that will be cooking for that child will also enter information, and she will get a QR code, because by the time they give her the food pack that she'll be getting every month, it will come under a QR code. So everybody is going to get a QR code except for the children. The children, they get their NIN. So with the QR code now, we're able to monitor you, we're able to talk to you. If now they bring your rice and they open your 50 kg bag of rice and it's smelling, it's not the same size we want, it's not dry enough, it has some white inside it. The moment they send your QR code to us and your company's name, I know where the rice came from. And immediately I can send a signal out to everybody that got that rice. Can you take a picture of your rice and send it to the back end? So what does that tell our supplier? We are going to be standardized. Be it under the snacks for thought or under the homegrown, we are going to be standardized. It's not business as usual. Now, another thing that I need to mention that that you need to ask is the supply chain up to the meat, the fish, our butchers, our meat supplier, like I said, our vegetable people, all of them are going to get a QR code. So the rice that my children in Akwa Ibom are eating, my children in Enugu and in Kano, they are eating the same thing. The kind of meat that my child is eating in Lagos, they're also doing the same thing in Adamawa. If I go to Plateau State, I want to taste that food myself and make sure the taste in Plateau is the same thing I'm tasting in Abia. So there's going to be standardization of food, of all the food items. So what does this tell you? Mr. President said no child must be left behind. Every child that is battered in Nigeria, they are our future. And we are going to make sure that they get the best, no matter what, from this administration. And that is what that is telling us. So the QR code is for the monitoring and evaluation, also to standardize our food items that are being supplied. That I don't give you, this is the standard that you are giving me something else. No, because even those cooks would have sent them pictures of the kind of rice, of the kind of beans, of the kind of ugu that they are getting. If it's the mother model or the cook's model that we are using, you can go to your program farmer, your program butcher in your community. Again, we give them the size of meat. We are not going to take meat that are not part of our standard, meat that are substandard, or fish, or whatever it is that we are getting. So the QR code is truly to make sure we are getting our money's worth. That's it, sir.
Wow. Oh, thank you so very much for that. What I can get from what you just said now is, apart from standardizing the quality of the food, which for me is top notch, another thing that I can see from that is the fact that, God forbid, maybe if something slips through and there is some kind of, I don't know, maybe food poisoning or something, this QR code will allow you to know the exact source.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this so that Nigerians across the world will understand what you were doing. Yes. Because the thing is, you see, I keep saying it every time that we can do it. Nigerians can do it. The problem we have is some of us have been fixated with the silly way we do things in the past, and we're not ready to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Someone told me, why do we even have a box anyway? And I tend to agree with that. We don't need a box. Just think.
Yes.
Because when you put you see, it's amazing what our brains can do if we put it to task.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't know. Because how do I know? My parents are stark illiterates. But, God bless their souls. A lot of things they were telling me when I was younger, I was thinking, what do you know? You didn't go to bloody school. Now that I'm older, it's beginning to come back to me, to haunt me, to say I should have listened. Because even though they had no formal education, they had something in them that lets them to understand the world better than I did at the time. So thank you so much, ma'am. I'm still waiting for people to come up with questions and stuff like that. But before that, we just have to keep on the
Yeah, I think I see somebody, a name Michael has been raising his hand. Michael.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Adeshola Okwarin. Okay, I've got a couple of people now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I will now hand over to my make a rest more, make a drink some water. Jump
Yes,
sir. Let me bring my co-host, Hajia Rekia Bello Abakar. You have the floor now so that you can bring in all the questionnaires. We need more hands up because this is a very, very interesting program. Even if you don't get Peking, you go marry one day, you go get child, Abi, and you go want make that child when you go to school, make you eat better food. Make you begin to think of that now. Coming up with your question, you have somebody who can tell you what she has in stock for us now. So please don't let us lose this opportunity. Thank you so very much. So Hadia, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Princess, you are welcome again to our global Renewed Hope Global Home.
Good afternoon, Hadia Bello.
You're welcome. I've been listening and enjoyed. There were questions I wanted to ask, but you sort of seem to have answered all of them.
Thank you, ma'am.
But I've got two people now whose hands I see is are raised up. The first one I have is Adeshola, and then I've got Tosin on standby. So Adeshola, if you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Yes. Oh, okay, good.
Hello everyone. It's been a thought-provoking topic, and thank you very much, Dr. Princess, Mr. Joseph, and Ajia. And my take is towards funding, consistent and widespread funding, how this gesture can be long-lasting. So if you look at a country like America, American citizens abroad always remit back taxes, no matter how small, into the American polity. So my suggestion is there's this sudden big drive of diasporans, and as Mr. Joseph mentioned, most people is towards how they can benefit. But for me, can the synergy be created whereas the diasporans can, chip back into funding, because it's a huge venture.
Yes.
Consistently feeding.
Yeah.
For you to touch every nook and cranny. So my question is, have you got a strategy? Have you got a plan? Have you got, to make this, again, like Mr. Joseph said, this is a big, school feeding is a big thing in the UK. Even when you're applying for jobs, they ask you, were you eligible for school, for feeding while in school? These are things that they use for making, the government used to make decisions on demographics. So don't let me take over the floor. So what is your strategy and, for consistent funding? Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Welcome.
Yes, go on.
Take two more questions. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Adeshola. So, this program is in two tiers. The first one, like I said, is the Snacks for Thought, which is the CSR-driven initiative from our private sector. The corporate social responsibility of our private sectors to use in funding the Snacks for Thought. On the side of the school feeding itself, what we are pushing now, in the past, the federal government had been funding the school feeding in its totality. That means the federal government was feeding over 10 million children every day with the federal government's money. What we are proposing now is the federal government to maybe come in with 50% and let's source for the other 50% from the state, from the local government, and from the private sector, which is going to be like a 3-tier, 4-tier, something that we are working on now. But you said something that I loved about taxes. And I think an average Nigerian, I'm sorry to say this, they don't believe in paying their taxes. But for a program like this, that you are going to see your return on investment, I'll give you an example. When I did this particular Snacks for Thought in Lagos State, and I sat back, when I got home, the turnout was humongous, was huge. The parents, the children, everybody was happy. I was running for a whole week. In fact, during that time, I caught COVID, and I still kept going, not knowing that I had COVID. And everybody was excited. I had about 400 volunteers, the mother from the House of Assembly, from ESCO, everybody. We were on fire. We were on fire with the mothers. So when I got home, I said to myself, how are we going to be able to fund this Snacks for Thought if it's not really CSR driven? So I went to my governor. I said, Mr. Governor, I said the informal sector, I can organize how we can get taxes from them and use the taxes from the informal sector to fund this school feeding. And he said, are you sure? And I came up with a concept note. I came up with everything, how we are going to get the taxes from the private sector, from the informal sector, and use that tax to fund this program. Of course, something went wrong. But what that tells you is that as long as you are paying your taxes, you can say school feeding tax. And people, Nigerians, are truly seeing the return on investment. I'm very sure even the person selling bolly, selling pure water, selling coconut will pay something into that school feeding trust fund, into that school feeding tax. And that is what we are trying to get at now. Again, Nigerians, we love to see where our money is going. If you can see that truly we are feeding your children are coming to school, you are part of the beneficiary getting the return on investment. So that's where we are going right now, and we are working at the back end into achieving that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Princess Adebowale. My next participant is Barrister Tosin Olayinka, our own Barrister Tosin. Please go on with your either question or comment that you've got, while Michael's iPhone is on standby.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, our distinguished guest. In fact, it's been a wonderful moment listening to all you have to say about the school feeding program that you're chairing. And I must say that you brought international standard to the operation of this school feeding program, which we really appreciate so much. So we say kudos to you, madam.
Thank you very much.
My question is, as regards how you concentrate on each of the states, how long do you concentrate on each state before moving to another state?
All right. Thank you very much. Remember, like I told you, when we're in Kano for a whole week. First of all, we did the stakeholders engagements with the private sector. Came up with a template on how they're going to continue to give snacks to the schools. Also, so there's a dashboard that I think I sent to Ambassador Adebowale that we are going to be launching fully in Lagos State now. But we give them that dashboard in Kano. So when we're in Lagos now, we're going to be spending a total of 10 days in Lagos. So it's not that we're just going to come and go. No, we're going to be there. We're going to be talking to the local government chairman. We're going to be talking to the private sector. We're going to be talking to the governor and his ESCO. We're going to be having a stakeholders engagement and highlighting what this program is about and the sustainability of it. And in each state, we are looking to give them between 3 to 6 months to fully adopt this program. So even when we leave the state, we are still monitoring them, we are still talking to them, we are still helping them adopt a school for Snacks for Thought. Also remember that I said, once you adopt that school, there's going to be a leadership program. So it's actually beneficial for anybody, maybe your primary school, Barrister Tosin. When we're in London in the House of Lords, I met some of your, some of your members that are waiting for Snacks for Thought to be launched and the dashboard to be launched. And they were like, they're going to be contributing something, they're going to be sponsoring their own primary school. So the template is on the dashboard. Again, each state, we are going to sit down with them. We are going to make sure they understand the process. And while we're there to adopt at least 1 or 2 schools, and we'll continue monitoring them for about 3 to 6 months. So that's the plan.
All right. Thank you very much, madam.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Michael's iPhone, are you ready? Are you there? Michael's
Yes.
iPhone. Oh, good.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm Dr. Michael Tomari. Thank you so much, madam, for really speaking to us today. And I can say I feel so very proud of you. You know, some of us, you have succeeded in changing the mind of some of us. You know, I was one of those people that used to criticize Ajia Safia, the woman that our former president employed and was telling us that they were carrying out school feeding program, even during Corona pandemic when people were at home. Thank you very much, ma, for really standing for us. That in Nigeria today, we can carry out things holistically and effectively too.
Thank you, sir.
As a public health person that I am, I know what you are doing is intervention program, and I can also liken it to public health. My advice now is that you also showcase all your achievements in form of means of verifications. It can be by also releasing pictorials, and I heard you talking of dashboard. You can make that dashboard available, showcase it to the world, because I believe this your beautiful achievement can also be a kind of campaign tool for our president ahead of the 2027 campaign election. Just like what that boy, that best student of a university in the southwest Nigeria, showcased to the world about the efficiency of net fund money that the president gave to the students all over the country. Thank you so much for what you are doing, madam. We are very proud of you.
Thank you.
And don't ask, we are watching too. God bless you.
Right. You too, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tomari. Next, I've got Aroke Ibrahim. Are you ready? While Mezi Okolo should be on standby. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
My doctor, good afternoon, and my honorable member, Mr. Joseph Adebowale. I'm very glad to be in this midst today. In my state, during the school feeding program, we see a lot of downfall on it, and I pray that this one will not be like that. So, in support of what, hello? Hello?
Can hear you. Yeah,
we can hear you, sir.
Noise, Ibrahim. If you can just move away a bit.
You have some background noise there. If you can just move away from there, it'll be better. Uh-oh.
He's gone off the radar. Are you there? Well, maybe we'll go to Meze Okolo. If you're ready, please let's hear your question or comment, whichever one it is.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity again. And the doctor that spoke about the feeding program, that was a good one. I'm familiar with those kind of arrangements. Mine is not really is kind of a question, but maybe also a suggestion. Somebody had asked earlier about sustainability and the issue of funding, and he alluded to the fact that Americans around the world somehow pay taxes, some kind of remittance, which Nigerians don't do. Anyway, officially, so to speak. But what that got me thinking about is, if people are adopting schools for this feeding program, is there any incentive from the government to encourage even more people? I give an example. When we hear Bill Gates giving, to charity, or this big man giving to charity somewhere, they have some kind of tax credits that they get from supporting those kind of stuff. So whether they be Nigerians abroad or Nigerians in the diaspora at home, whether the Nigerians should be paying taxes to support a thing like that, is there any incentive or any suggestion of incentive or any policies that you could move for or request that will kind of encourage people or give people some kind of credit, where somebody can say, hey, I adopted this school, this is evidence of my support for the school program. That way they could get some tax credits from in their, even here at home. So maybe that will be another way to not just raise money, but to make the program more sustainable. Something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy Okolo. I'll now yield the floor to Dr. Adebowale. Give us an answer to that.
Yes, thank you, Ajia Bello. So, Dr. Okolo, thank you very much. So, I always have a story for everything. Yeah, the tax credit is one of the areas that, remember I said we want to talk to the Governors Forum. And these are some of the things we are going to bring up, with the Governors Forum in terms of this tax credit. When I was in the United States, I want to say about, so that people don't know my age, about a few decades ago. So there was this, they call it food bank. So in the food bank, companies at the end of the year, Tommy, you figure all kind of companies in America, you will come and donate your items that you are not using at the end of the year. So there's a way the government will look at how much you have donated, and they will give you a tax credit. So for you to know that I'm also thinking in this line. So one of the things that we are going to ask, aside from you as a private sector, as a company doing it under your CSR, corporate social responsibility, we'll also be talking to the governors about giving certain tax credits to certain companies if they adopt, if they adopt at least 5 schools in their community, even from 2 to 5 schools. So there has to be a number of schools that you are, Then also in terms of the amount of items that you are, giving to those schools, it will be mentioned. So there's going to be a scale that we're going to give to the state governors, that if somebody is spending, let me say, I don't know, as part of their CSR, they are spending anywhere from like 10 million to 50 million, give them certain tax credits. They are spending from 50 million to 100 million, give them tax credit. And I want to say this to private sectors. I was part of Lagos State Executive Council when EndSARS happened in Lagos State. I will never forget it. Yes, tax credit is good, but like I told Ambassador when I was giving my presentation earlier, if we are not equating school feeding to security, we are missing something. When EndSARS happened in Lagos State, all of us, we couldn't come out. All of us were jittering. The police were in their houses, they were in their station. They were told not to come out because there were so many mayhems that was happening in Lagos. But the one that really got me, and anytime I think about it, is that the businesses that got destroyed, some of those businesses, as of today, they were not able to recover some of them because some don't have insurance. Some of those business owners died from depression. The Lagos State government, in their own wisdom, little way, they put some succor for some of the business, but it cannot be the same way. So if you are looking at this snacks for thought or school feeding program as government has to do something back for you, no, my brother, you are also using it to secure your own life. But on our own part as government, we talk, we have a conversation, with the state government to adopt to adopt this program, that CSR, and give tax credit. But if that does not come, see it as as part of your heaven, that you are doing something good for the less privileged, that you are supporting, the future of a child. But again, the tax credits, we are going to discuss it. So thank you very much for that point. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Adebowale. I still got one hand up.
Okay.
Professor Ugoji Eze. Professor Ugoji Eze, you've got the floor now. Can we unmute Professor Ugoji Eze, please?
Yeah, he's been asked to unmute now, so he has to do the unmuting now.
Oh. Professor Ugoji, please unmute yourself.
Okay, am I muted?
He has now.
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. I'd like to first and foremost say huge congratulations and well done to Princess. And I just have one or two points and suggestions, if I may say. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling from?
From the United States.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Why? Oh, okay. First and foremost, do you have examples of best practices in which you could show the use of AI and digital technology in agriculture and digital public goods? And I believe that you need to address the major drivers behind the re-centralizing hunger and lack of progress in reducing malnutrition in all its forms, and thus ensuring affordable, healthy diets for all. Have you also addressed the inextricable nexus between food security, migration, and climate change? And what policies and indeed progress countries implement in utilizing AI in food security, improved nutrition, and affordable, healthy diets for all? I notice you mentioned your next port of call will be in Katsina State. Will this also include, or do you have programs for what I could diplomatically term street-connected children, namely the Amajiris? And also, do you have any good practices on food security, improved nutrition, and affordable diets for all? Building on also from the momentum of the recent Food System Summit, both in Washington, D.C. a few years ago, and also at the United Nations in New York, I believe that there's a need for you to involve and also bring on board both the public and private sector, as well as farmers' organizations, to discuss the globally agreed food security and nutrition targets, namely ending hunger in line with the SDGs target 2 and 1, and also all forms of malnutrition targets, SDG target 2.2. And as I say, well done for what you're doing. I believe there needs to be more involvement from the international community for you to be able to successfully implement your food program. Again, well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ugoji. I'll now yield the floor to Dr. Adebowale.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Ugoji. So I just want to distinguish between Ministry of Agric and the homegrown school feeding program. So most of the things that you have touched on, Ma, has to do with Ministry of Agric. And I'm sure they are, working on those things in terms of this food security, the food migration, and all that. For me, for my program, is to look at how I'm going to reduce malnutrition. One, increase, food safety for the children that are being fed under this homegrown school feeding program and Snacks for Thought. If I have to look at the SDG goals that this program is touching, SDG goal 1, no poverty, supporting vulnerable children and low-income household through school-based nutrition intervention. SDG goal 2, zero hunger, combating child hunger and improving access to nutritious meal for school children, which I've already celebrated on the Snacks for Thought and the homegrown school feeding program. Goal 3, good health and well-being, promoting child nutrition, wellness, cognitive development, and healthier learning environment, which again, I've talked about that, increase enrollment, the completion of their studies. Quality education, improving concentration, school readiness, attendance, and learning outcomes among pupils. Goal 8, decent work and economic growth, supporting local food vendors, smallholder farmers, logistic provider, and community-based economic participants. Goal 10, reduce inequality, expanding nutrition and educational support to underserved and vulnerable communities. Goal 17, partnership for the goals, strengthening collaboration between government, private sectors, institutions, development partners, and community for sustainable social impact. So, ma'am, these are the goals that everything that I've talked about I've touched, and these are the ones that truly concerns the National Homegrown School Feeding Program under Ministry of Humanitarian. But for those other ones, which also they relate to us, but if I have to concentrate on those ones, it would derail me from what my appointment is. So we're going to be taking part in those conversations, but it's not going to be our focus. So my focus under the SDG goals are the ones that I've read. And thank you so much, ma'am, for all your suggestions and your comments. I truly appreciate them. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Adebowale. I've still got one hand up, and it's Barrister Tosin Olayinka. Barrister Tosin, please unmute yourself and.
Okay, thank you very much, Hajia. Coming back again, looking at the effective sustainability of this program, I'm not sure, probably if you are considering any aids from any international organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister Tosin. So like I said, the World Food Program, a few of them have reached out to us and have been supporting us from day one. I can confidently talk about WFP. But when we stopped feeding in Nigeria, and the issue of the United States coming where they were cutting funds for development partners for programs like this, it affected our supporters in the development world. But I think we are coming back slowly. I had a meeting a couple of days ago with one of a development partner that are looking to come and work with us. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet, but yes, I'm very much talking at the back end with some development partners that, number one, and for them, I have to say this, it's not to give myself credit, it's just to say, if people are watching, a foundation called me from Seattle, and they said they saw what we did in Kano. It was all over the social media. They were proud of what Nigeria is transitioning into now, what we're transcending into now. Again, taking the school feeding as a welfare program into being a development, like a human capital development program, and what we are doing. So the world is watching. And because of this now, the development partners, they have confidence in us that, okay, if they come and support us now, they can truly see the return on their investment. And I have to say this here, because if I don't say this, it's not going to be fair to some of the development partners. What they accused Nigeria of in the past was that most of the time that they support us, they don't see the monitoring and evaluation. They don't see the return on their investment, truly. Where there's transparency, there's accountability, and this is what this administration is bringing on the table now. Transparency, accountability, integrity, and the world is watching truly. And I have to also say this here, if we're able to get this right, and this is not about Princess, it's not about Ashwadibol Ahmed Tinubu, it's about the future of Nigeria, it's about all of us. If we're able to get this right now, it will give this administration a legacy that is beyond infrastructural development, beyond rails, beyond roads. Yeah, those are standard things that any forward-looking government has to do for their citizens. But this school feeding program, when we went to Japan, WFP sponsored me to Japan in 2024. And everybody in Japan, all the countries that came, and God is my witness, they were so, I don't want to use the word, they were looking forward to Nigeria to start school, because we are the ones globally they are looking at, especially in West Africa, in the Sub-Saharan Africa, in ECOWAS. Nigeria leads and other follows. So I pray with all your support that Nigeria can go back to the, to being the leader, that they are when it comes to school feeding in Nigeria. And this time around, we can account, we can show transparency, and we can truly show the world that we care about our children and about our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Princess Aderemi. I still got one hand up. I had two before, maybe because he changed his or her mind. I've got.
Maybe answer that question.
Yes, I've got Jacob Ogunshare. Are you ready?
Yes, ma dear. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, Dr. Adebowale.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. It has been very interesting, and we keep on learning new things on a daily basis regarding what the administration is doing in Nigeria. Yes, I want to ask a question. Not a question, but I just want to bring your awareness to this. In 2018, when this program started, around that time, there was a situation in I think, Cross River State then, when some of the staffs working, some of the staff, they were distributing biscuits to the pupils instead of normal dish. And then, though fortunately they were caught and they were sacked. Now I want to ask: is there any way this is being monitored around the country? Probably you ask them to distribute protein, this and this and this, and instead of that, because they want to cut corner, they want to make money. And is there any way they are being monitored on a daily basis? I know they can be given food. The food is food, You can say, well, if we ask a child, have you eaten? Yes, I've eaten. But how do you monitor what they actually eat? How do you monitor when they eat it? And how do you monitor if it really meets the needs of those children eating those food? Thank you, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Ogunsheye, I think you just joined us because I've answered all these questions in the beginning of my
Yes, I had you earlier, but I'm just thinking because some people were sacked anyway. Then, so I want to know what has there anything of that nature since you have joined? Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Yes. So, like I said, 1 second, please. I'm trying to multitask here. All right. Yes. Remember at the beginning, that's when we talk about the QR code. That's when we talk about the supply chain. That's where I talk about no woman, no cooks, be it a mother, be it a cook, goes to market. Everything will be delivered to them that we have already calculated, we have already weighed, and it will be delivered to them. So there is no way where any woman is going to cook something that is different from in Lagos, in Anambra. We are going to be packing, we are going to be giving them a food pack, a packet that will be delivered to their schools, maybe on a weekly or on a monthly basis, and they are going to check that they make sure. Also for cooking, so once that woman or that cook gets the food pack, however we are doing it, the children are going to have a wristband that are going to have all their information. So be it through biometrics or through an iPad that is already coded, like an AI coded will scan that child's hand with the food in his hand, and each child will be scanned while they were serving them. Or we're going to do it in class. So we are putting a lot of model in place, a lot of piloting in place. But one thing I can assure you that each child will be seen, will be documented each day that they eat, and it's going to be, put in our cloud. So there is a dashboard now that we are building nationally, that every child that is fed in Akwa Ibom, in Enugu, in Benue, in Plateau, you will see it live. Mr. President can go, President says she fed 2,000 children in Akwa Ibom on June 10th. Let me go to June 10th, and you will see it there. So we are putting all those things in place right now. Now, in terms of the cooks, again, like I said, they are no longer going to the market. So we are putting a strong M&E in place. And that's why I also talk about our development partners, the return on investment. Everything is documented. Everything is being transparent. It's very transparent. Everything, there is accountability from beginning to end. And the issue of the QR code is very, very crucial in terms of every item that is being delivered to that cook or to that mother is going to be documented where it comes from. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Obushe. Princess, I've got 2 more hands up. I hope we're I've got Alhaji Ahmed Muazu, and then Dr. Odiapo should be on standby. Alhaji Ahmed Muazu, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Or
thank you very much, Ma.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be here. And although I have to also thank you, Dr. Princess Aderemi. My question is, how can you carry our governors along this program? Because I could remember in 2005, there's a program, there's a launching of school feeding in Laminga in Nasarawa State, which the former governor Abdullahi Adamu then initiated the idea. And since then, I have not been hearing anything about it again. So now that you are bringing in this for Renew Hope agenda, what support do you think you can be able to bring our governors into this program so that it can be successful? That's my question. Thank you very much. I wish you nice deliberation.
Thank you, Alhaji Muazu. I think I also mentioned this earlier, that we are going to be looking to go and present to the Governors Forum, very soon, and to encourage them to support at least the Snacks for Thought initiative under the CSR school feeding program, while we are waiting to kickstart the school feeding itself. So we are working on that. We have, like I said, we have been to Kano, we have been to Lagos, and we are coming to Lagos now. We're going to Katsina. And I think, you see, there's something that is called seeing is believing. Once you see, then you will believe. Again, the Snacks for Thought initiative is a brand new idea that most people are not, they are not aware of it. They don't know about it. So my hope and vision is that once we launch fully in Lagos State, and everybody in the world can see what we are doing in Lagos State, then I will go to the Governors Forum. That see what we did in Lagos State, this is what we did in Kano, in FCT. Let all the other governors, let us join them. Of course, we are going to Katsina, and I'm very sure Katsina, just like Lagos State, is going to welcome us with open hands. But we are looking and we are open to go to Governors Forum and present to them for them to adopt the Snacks for Thought, a breakfast initiative, PBAT fit. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Princess. I've got 1 more hand up. Dr. Odiapo, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Doctor, I want to really appreciate your presentation and your drive and interest to ensure that this function properly, because it's one of the things that we actually are lacking that will boost the child building. Now, we you've touched everywhere about your presentation. But another thing, as an economist, as a finance person, my interest is sustainability. You can have a very beautiful idea, that can be driven, and everyone sees the positive side of it. But in our world, we pay more attention to what will make something fail, so we can address it to keep it afloat. So mine is not a question. Mine is just a few suggestions on the financial structure, the base, which is very important, because without finance, any idea, it can remain an idea. It's a finance that will be able to propel it to achieve the desired results that we're looking at. So in terms of funding, I've listened to you carefully, but I would suggest a diversified model where the federal government serves as the anchor supporter through education, through health, agriculture, and social investment programs, while state governments provide implementation support at the local level. Beyond government participation, the initiative should also actively engage major corporate organizations with strong CSR and ESG commitments in their environment. And particularly within the food, banking, and telecommunications, even in the energy sector, these people, they have a lot of floating funds that your initiative can assess if they are properly tailored in a way that they see sustainability, they see the possibility of achieving the desired goals. Because a lot of people in the past have so much setback in their thinking when it comes to government functioning about a particular program, because we've had so many programs, beautiful programs in Nigeria, but at the end, a lot of them don't really meet up with the expectations of the people because the structure might be defective. And if the finance structure is not strong, we will not be able to achieve that. So I would further recommend engaging instead of engaging international development organizations. Nigeria is tilting towards self-sustaining. That is what the president is doing. So we should not be running. If we must have funding from diaspora, let it be our people from diaspora. Let us not go to UNICEF. Let us not go to all these people. We can fund it. We can encourage potential partners. Could include organizations. We can encourage organizations like the Nesto, the Dangote groups, the BOA, the UBAs, the Zenith banks, and all that. They have civic responsibility to every child, and they can actually be part of this. And also to encourage stronger participation, I'm landing, please, from private sector partners and philanthropists. I would suggest introducing a sponsor a school or sponsor a community model where organizations or individuals can directly, people from diaspora, people from Nigeria, to support selected schools, communities, local government areas. This approach will create measurable impact, increase the ownership of the program by Nigerians, and it will encourage long-term commitment from sponsors. So these are the areas I'm looking at. I'm available for free. I can help you. Bring up some templates that you can run with, because it's a beautiful program that must succeed. And if it must succeed, we must have a serious financial structure base that will propel it to the expected end. Thank you. I wish you good luck.
Hajia, before you comment, can I just make one or two comments? Because first of all, let me just say this now. Dr. Obire was one of our previous VVIP, and I've marked him down. He's coming back again because people requested him to come back. That's why I was so happy when he put up his hand, and what he came up with gels with some of the questions I was going to ask our VVIP regarding sustainability. Because it is only a fool that will listen to this program today and not be thinking along that line. How do we sustain this? Because this, for me, is not just about, well, people talk about, what's it called again now? What this government is doing now, facilities and all that, doing rules and all that. That is for the present. But what this, our VVIP for today is doing is for the future of the country. And for me, anything, I'm a father. I have 3 children, and I believe every father or every mother will want to key into this program. So when she was talking, answering some other questions, I have one or two questions which Dr. Obiri just touched on now, which again, this is the reason why I decided to come in now, which is that we would like to work with Dr. Adebowale, Princess Adebowale, on this issue. Because for me, federal government cannot do it alone. Even government private, what's it called again? Public, private, whatever, may not be enough. We need Nigerians in diaspora. Like Dr. Bire said, we don't need the Macmillans of this world to come and help us. We have Nigerians across the world who has companies, who has organizations, who has corporations that can come into this program. And I think we can collectively bring them in. Even just thinking about the what's it called now? The annual money that Nigerians from diaspora send to Nigeria alone. In the last maybe 5 to 10 years, it surpasses what the government is earning from petroleum. That's another angle. I just thought I should bring that in. We can key into that one way or the other, maybe through percentages of whatever it is that is repatriated home. I'm trying to remember the name it's called now, or through direct funding to this organization. Because for me, I don't know about Dr. Adebowale, this is becoming more like my own baby too now. I'm trying to key into this to see that this, succeeds beyond our imagination. I know it's your baby, and with the way you've been so passionate about it, that has, I think your passion has more or less gotten to me now, and I'm so much into this now that I would like to see that this program succeeds. So I'll probably connect you with Dr. Obiri after this program to see any way we can help, because sustainability is the key. You have a grandiose program. You have the vision. You have everything going for you. But then, in order for that to succeed, you need ego.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So we'll do everything to help, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. So thank you very much.
Mama, I've got adopt a school, adopt a child, are part of the things that somebody suggested earlier on that I would like you to look into. And I know you are a very articulate woman, so you can always build into all this suggestion that's been brought in. So we'll talk about after this program. But for now, just respond to all of the things that's been covered.
Yes, please. Yes, sir. So thank you very much, Dr. Ubere, and thank you, Ambassador Adebowale. There is nothing Dr. Ubere spoke about that is not in place. Is it the financial structure at the base? Finance will propel it. Federal government to anchor, state to do this, diversified modeling, proper tailoring with energy, for CSR, civic responsibility, self-sustainability, adoptive school. It's all on ground.
Good.
If you remember, sir, Ambassador Adebowale, the Snacks for Thought is called Adopt a School for Snacks for Thought.
Beautiful.
I have banks. I have people, like I said, when I was in London in the House of Lords, some of your people in the diaspora, a lot of people committed to it. They are just waiting for the dashboard. So, and also, he also said something that Nigeria is working towards sustainability. But I have to say this. I remember when my brother was a young boy, and my mom used to give him naan then. Naan, I think, is molded to be like breast milk. And I remember that time when my mom would ask me and my older brother to go and make milk for Shola. The naan does not last more than, it's supposed to last Shola for about a week. It was usually lasting for like 3 days because we are also eating part of that naan. And because it was so smooth, it was so sweet. And somebody used to tell me that if you want to take a breast milk from a child, you have to give them naan first, because not so if we are looking for self-reliance, self-sustainability, sir, don't let's kid ourselves. It's a process. There is nothing Dr. Ubere had mentioned that I'm not working on at the back end.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
When somebody told me, and I'm not going to say much here because this is a global something, when they told me, oh, you are not getting this, you are not doing this, you are not doing this, maybe you should go and do something else. And I sat back, I said, does anybody know how much I've invested in this thing in the last 2 years? You said it's my baby, sir, it's my passion. When I was going to get this appointment, our honorable, I'm not going to mention his name here, and they said school feeding, they ran to me. So I said, if anybody can do this for Nigeria, it's Princess. And I'm like, sir, don't let them give you an appointment that is your passion. It's not really good. Because that means you are stuck.
It will cost you a lot. Yeah, I know.
No, it's not about costing, because you'll be doing it, you'll be living it every day. It's part of your being. And the success of it, I'm not going to be in this position forever. But what we are trying to do is that when this administration finishes it in the year 2031, and we don't know if we are going to even go, I'm not going to say that. In year 2031, we're going to have left a standardized, institutionalized program that can outlive the next 10 or 20 administration. That will be a futuristic program that will truly, truly touch life, enhance life, improve lives. And our children, I met somebody in one of our one of the offices in Abuja. When I was telling him, I said, my name is Dr. Princess Aderemi Adebowale. I'm in charge of school feeding. He was like, wow. I remember then when they were feeding us when I was in primary school. What I became today is because I was fed. I was moved. When we launched Snacks for Thought, I took it to one of my PSs and I went to give him a pack to take a picture with us for Snacks for Thought. Immediately, I was so, oh my God. Immediately, he opened the pack. And if he's listening now, he'll be laughing. He opened the pack, he put it in his mouth. And he said, Princess, do you know what I remember? They used to feed us there when we had to do Obolu. And the Obolu is where my mom is. So I was like, really? And he's from the north. But we went to do Obolu. I was like, it's like this school feeding is what helped us to be what we are. He's a medical doctor. So I'm appealing to whoever that is listening for the support, and it's all hands on deck. I'm going to get in touch with Dr. Berry, whatever you can do. But sir, there is nothing you have mentioned now that is not on ground already. There is nothing that you have just mentioned that is not on ground already. And that's what I said. This program goes beyond school feeding.
Yeah.
It's about security. It's about our future. It's about our children. It's about how Nigeria will see itself in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 and beyond now. And I have to go back to the 0 to 2000 days, also my passion, because any creation, white, black, purple, Indian, Chinese, I don't care who you are, you start from those 0 to 2000 days. So if we are not making or putting concerted effort into making sure that our primary school children, that our children in early years, that our children that are in public school are being fed, truly we are doing ourselves injustice. And I said this to anybody that will listen proudly. I said, if Mr. President does not want this school feeding to succeed in Nigeria, he would not have appointed me. I'm result-oriented. The school feeding, everybody that knows me since 2012, is my passion. So thank you, sir. Again, I will accept all the support, but I feel that apart from you, whoever that is listening now, let's come together. You know, when àgbájọwọ́ la fi ń sọ̀yà, ìgbà kan ò gbẹ́rù dórí, àti bá tó wá ṣe bí òwe kẹdáríjì mi sà, you know, and the more hands on deck, the better for us. And I hope by the time we celebrate Mr. President's first year in office for the second term, we'll be singing hallelujah when it comes to school feeding in Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aderemi. I've got one more hand up. Kamar. I've got Kamar.
Kamar.
Are you? Yeah. Please unmute yourself.
Good evening, madam.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Good
Kamar.
evening, presenter. I really appreciate the presentation.
Thank you.
So please, my question is about this return on investment. I believe, I joined the program late, so I believe I must have missed it, because there's no way you present this that you don't mention the element of return on investment. So along the line, you've been repeating the word severally, and I've been trying to wrap my head about the list of these items. So I don't know if you don't mind to repeat them so that I will get the glimpse of those return on investment. How do we, what are the elements to measure? So what are we looking at as the sources of the program? And if there's also element of KPI in your program, so that you can just bullet them, I appreciate.
All right. So when I talk about return on investment, it's a very simple thing. It's about our children. They are our investments, you know. They are our investments, and if we don't again put some make concerted efforts to make sure we're investing in the future of Nigeria, then we are missing something. So when I spoke about our return on investment is about the children, you know, because they are our future. And, you know, let me talk about the sources and impact of the snacks for thought. When we talk about the KPIs, again, I will just run through this because I've talked about this before. It's a breakfast club initiative. It will be measured through clear, defined key performance indicators, including number of schools participating in the program, number of pupils reached and fed daily, weekly, improvements in school attendance and punctuality rate, improvements in classroom attentiveness and learning readiness, reduction in hunger-related learning fatigue and among pupils, number of schools adopted through the CSR partnership, number of local governments and LCDs covered, quality and quantity of nutritious meal snacks that is distributed, level of private sector and stakeholder participation, media reach, public engagements and program feasibility, number of local vendors, suppliers, logistics and partners engaged, community participation and parental engagement level, monitoring and evaluation, accountability, compliance rate across participating schools, beneficiary satisfaction and feedback report, percentage growth in program expansion and sustainability partnership. So I can go on and on. So we have those KPIs that will be measured as we start and as we continue this program. But please note this and put this in your heart. The return on investment for the National Homegrown School Feeding Program and for the Snacks for Thought are the children that will be fed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Princess. Well done, well done, well done.
Thank you,
I'll
ma'am.
now hand over to my chairman, Ambassador J.K. Adebowale.
Thank you so very much, Haji. I think the time is well spent. And I dare say that it is, we'll go another hand. Okay, that was just a thumbs up. It is 2 hours well spent, I must say. I thought I knew everything about the homegrown school feeding stuff until this evening. I've now been schooled again to say you know nothing. You know, so for that I remain grateful to our VVIP for tonight, because the ease with you made it look so easy, the way you presented the whole thing, and that amazes me, because it is one thing for you to know your stuff, and it's another thing for you to be able to relate it to people in a how do I put it now, in layman's language that everybody will understand. I think that is what transpired here today, and for that I remain eternally grateful to you, ma'am. Thank you so very much. I know it is hard to get you people to come on our program, but you made it very easy for me. We met on our way to Cotonou, I believe, on a
Yes.
private jet, and do you know? Okay, let me release something now. Whilst we were waiting for the private jet at the airport, I saw the way you were talking to Honorable Tokwe Fashwa about your program.
Yes.
I listened attentively. There was one barrister, Tolu, sitting next to me. I tapped him. I said, "Can you please just listen to this woman?" I listened to you attentively, and I signaled to Prince Adebowale. I didn't know he too was listening. So I just signaled to him, and I pointed at you. I said, "That is our next VVIP," and he gave me a thumbs up. And that was when I came to you. I said, would you like to come on? And immediately, without any hesitation, you said, yes, you will come. And that was the first time I get that kind of nod at the first instance. So for that, I thought I would have to say that here publicly for the whole world to know that this is one of the leaders that we have in Nigeria who is more accessible than everyone else. Because as soon as I told you about it, you said, yeah, I'll come. It was like, it's no brainer. You know, I want to come. I was like, really? So thank you so very much. And for you to spend the last 2 hours with us, passionately telling Nigerians what your program is all about and how passionate you are about what you do. You see, I think you made me to remember one thing someone told me many years ago in Nigeria. I said, when you're passionate about something, you will do it for free. And that's what I see in you now. You're just reading out, things that none of us never knew about. So for that, I remain eternally grateful. And to your family too, for giving you that 2 hours for you to spend with us and with Nigerians across the world. Thank you so very much. So but
Yes,
before we close, I don't know, maybe you have a last minute remarks to give to
Yes,
Nigerians
sir.
and to us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I just want to say, I will want to come back on your program.
Okay.
When I'm about to launch my book called Omo Enyokoni, The Fatherhood of a Nation.
Okay.
It's all part of this, when you talk about we're talking about the geospatial intelligence, about the MG 2000, MG 2050, the deterministic theory, all those blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I want to come and talk about it because I also want the world to know how crucial 0 to 2000 days is important to humanity and how we have to make concerted efforts, in terms of those early years, in terms of security, in terms of nutrition, in terms of if we make that investment now, like the guy said, the return on investment is what we are seeing in the world now. Our leaders, our governors, our senators, our engineers, our doctor, a woman somewhere, a father somewhere, a system somewhere has done what they are supposed to do to make that human being right or wrong or in between. So that is what my book is about, the fatherhood of a nation, Omo Enyokoni. Thank you, sir.
And I make bold to say you have my word. So the only proviso there is give us enough time.
Oh, no. I'm launching it in August by God's grace. So I'll probably come on around July,
Okay.
By God's grace, towards the launch of the book, and I'll come and talk about it so that we can look forward to the launch.
Just let us know, because you are one of us now.
Yes.
If I must say so. So we will always create room for you to come and address Nigerians, because you see, we benefit a lot from all of you, our leaders, especially this crop of leaders under this Renewed Hope administration. Will benefit a lot from you, because you are all of you are always eager to come here and talk to us about what the government is doing, your plans for the country and your aspirations and stuff like that. So for that, we remain eternally grateful. So thank you so very much, madam.
Thank you, sir.
I give you my word. Whenever that book is about to be launched, we will invite you over and we'll let the whole world know that I beg Bo, you welcome Bo. So speaking Yoruba again.
Fatherhood of a nation.
Go ahead, I'm speaking Yoruba again. Fatherhood of a nation is coming. So please come and listen. And I believe Nigerians across the world will come again and to come because I'm sure everybody that listened to you tonight is impressed by your presentation. And I'm sure they will all come back again and listen to you. So thank you so very much. And
thank you very much. And thank you, everyone. Please, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
So, moving on, I acknowledge the efforts of stakeholders who made the Renewed Hope Town Hall virtual conference possible through their wide network and influence of hard work, especially our leader who doesn't like to be mentioned, but we know who he is. And at the appointed time, as God normally says, we will out him, whether he likes it or not. He will be outed. So we say thank you so very much, sir, for everything you've been doing for us, and thank you immensely for making every week possible. Huge thanks also goes to Ben TV UK, Diaspora TV Switzerland. We appreciate your continuous support for Nigerians in diaspora and support for good governance in Nigeria. Thanks also goes to our media partners like the Reflector Newspaper, Parrot Newspaper Media Limited. The Reflector Newspaper is in Nigeria, is from Nigeria, and the Parrot Newspaper Media Limited is from South Africa. And you are all supporting and propagating the image of Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. You are all appreciated. I also wish to acknowledge other leaders and stakeholders present at this conference, starting from Dr. Obiakpo Obire, PhD, the Eco Club New York. I just saw them for the first time, so I can't help mentioning them. Thank you so very much for being part of this, and we hope to see you next week. I'm going to be announcing who we're having next week shortly. Engineer Olabode Jones Adimijere from Russia. Thank you so very much, sir. Professor Ugoji A. Eze Esquire, I believe that's a lawyer from USA. Thank you so very much for being part of this. Dr. Sylvia Okoro from Abuja. Every week, you never fail to come. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I personally love you. You can take that to the bank any day. Thank you so very much for being our supporter. And my own, let me be a bit biased here. He's my brother from the same mother. I took after him and he's my mentor. He's Pastor Dr. Eso Adebowale. You can tell by the name anyway. Venerable Gabriel, thank you so very much for being part of this. Patrick Obidoyin from Manchester. God loves you and you know that. And we know that too. Thank you so very much. And my very good friend, Dr. Michael Tomori. Ooh, what can I say? This man has been a pillar behind me regarding this program. He knows what I'm talking about. So for that, and so many other people, tomorrow in my thank you letter, I'll be mentioning more names. But these are the names that I can just pick on the top of my head. Thank you so very much, everybody. And once again, to our special guests, madam, you are, if I say you are wonderful, to me, that's an understatement. You are more than wonderful. And you have entertained us and educated us regarding your program. And for that, that's why I said, you don't even need to ask me. When next your book is coming out, I'm going to be there. Please, wherever you're launching it, I'm going to be there. Even if it's in Timbuktu, I will be there. Definitely.
Thank you very much.
And not just only me, the whole of my crew, of my team from the Renewed Hope Global will be there to support you because you deserve everything. You deserve everything. Thank you so much. And lastly, I appreciate my co-hosts who do they do all the background work. Me, not the simplest work me I do. Now they do all the hard work from behind, from Hajia who took over from me to Honorable Jacob Musheye, Honorable Boyo Bayewu. Don't know why I keep calling him Boyo. Shion Bayewu, Barrister Tosi Olayinka, and the rest of them. Thank you so very much for always making this program. It's not easy, but it is easy because of them. So thank you so very much for being part of this. And until next week, Next week, VVIP will be Dr. Sheung Ogunubi. Next Saturday, we are having Dr. Sheung Ogunubi. He's a psychiatrist, a mental health physician from Canada, no less. I can promise you it's going to be another interesting and engaging experience next Saturday. So please keep it a date with us. You know now, there's no need to be pussyfooting around. Next Saturday, we are coming with Dr. Sheung Ogunubi. He's going to be here with us, and maybe by tomorrow or Monday you will see the e-flyer. And thank you so very much. And again, let me come back to our chief host again, Madam. God bless you, and God bless your family, and most importantly, God bless the work of your hand.
Amen.
Yeah, God bless the work of your hand, because you are doing a hell of a lot. Anybody who's taking care of the future, yeah, deserves it at the right hand of God, the right hand side of God. So thank you so very much, and God bless you, and God bless your family. Thank you. So let me call our Hajia again. She's the matron of the house, to come and give us the closing remarks before we draw the curtain. Hajia, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Barrister JK. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we draw the curtain on today's event. Many thanks to our special guest, Princess Aderemi Adebowale, DG Renewed Hope National Homegrown School Feeding Program, for your comprehensive analysis. Thank you also to our participants who joined us from across the globe. Join us again next time for next week for another exciting episode. On behalf of the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference team, have a great weekend. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hadia. And on that note, we draw the curtain for today. But like I said, next week, look out for Dr. Sheung Ogunubi, who will be coming to again regale us like we've been regaled tonight by our special guest, Dr. Adebowale. For my older brother, Dr. Adebowale is the daughter of Adebowale Electrical in Zaria. I'm sure he will understand what I'm talking about. So it's a vicious. This world is a small place. When she told me about her family, and I'm like, really? I used to know, madam, your uncle was the manager in our that company was in our house.
Amazing. Wow.
In our house, right in front of my uncle used to own the shop. When he left for Lagos, then your family took over. It's a crazy. When she told me about it, I was like, really? So it is what it is. Let's all be good, because you just don't know who you might meet tomorrow. So
and it's about legacy for my dad, the kind of person that he was.
Yes.
And his legacy still lives on,
Yeah.
And that's where you see all of us, the Adebowale, me and my sibling, always trying to do our best and to make sure we keep that legacy afloat. So thank you very much.
Because you are holding the flag now, and I believe every Nigerian that knows that company, Adebowale Electricals, will understand what I'm talking about now. I know about it because it was right bank in our house. That's how I know about it. But many people too. What's the fridge they sell in those days?
KDK.
KDK fan, yeah.
The KDK fan, yes.
Yeah. And other electricals.
And
deep freezer and the rest of them. He sold them. Thank you so very much, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
On that note, we draw the curtain tonight, and God bless you all. Thank you.